This is the Aries new moon for March 21st, 2023. So we've got the new moon in Aries at 0 degrees critical, official 0 degrees critical Aries. And of course, that's with the sun. Oh, that is going to be of utmost importance, this Aries new moon. Why? Because 0 degrees starts the beginning of the astrological new year. And it is, as mentioned, 0 degrees critical. So that only highlights more important and transformative events. And within a day, possibly very late on the 21st, we have the moon applying a conjunction with Mercury, the communicator, and then within a day and a half to 2 days, it will then apply a conjunction with both Chiron, the healer, and lucky, fortunate, prosperous Jupiter. So what does this mean? Well, Aries is a fire sign. Aries is connected with the first house, the me house, the house of leadership and leaders. And it's about, in this case, with a new moon, it is about putting our best foot forward. And Aries is assertive, it's aggressive, Aries speaks their mind, and Aries likes to get things done. It's one of enthusiasm. So all of those traits are going to be very important during this Aries new moon. And what is Mercury? It's about our communications. And Jupiter, it's about our luck. And Chiron is the healer. So because this is all about fresh and new beginnings, Aries is pointing to something that is connected with, well, to answer that question, we have to look at the depositor. And in this case, Mars is in Gemini and almost itself at 29 degrees of Gemini. And what is Gemini? Gemini is about the third house. It's about our communications. It's about the written word, the spoken word, how we communicate with each other. It's about travel. So the transformations, the fresh start, the new beginnings are going to be in the area of communications. This can also be communications with technology and social media, social anything, because that is what Gemini is about. And with Mars, the planet of action, you can guarantee now there's very likely going to be very good and very innovative inventions now, especially under Mars in Gemini, the depositor of Aries. Boy, we are going to be very busy during this wonderful, fresh Aries new moon. And anytime you've got a new moon, especially with 0 degrees Aries, that's also very creative. It's very expressive. Great time for starting businesses, and there's going to be knowledge of possible leaders and leaderships changing gears now. A changeover, yes, but in a positive direction with leaders, leaderships. And that can be personally, management, supervisory changeovers, new beginnings with businesses, corporations, and this is a great time, as mentioned, for starting your own business or your own, Aries, independent venture, because Aries is that which is self-sufficient and independent. And especially with lucky Jupiter at 16 degrees Aries and with Chiron the healer. That's all about what? Our prosperity, our luck, and what does Jupiter rule? Jupiter is connected with the ninth house, Sagittarius. In the ninth house, somewhat like Mars, is connected with international anything, languages. It's also how we communicate and express our opinions. So there's going to be a lot regarding our principles, our ethics, our ideals, especially when it comes to really joining up with each other, really negotiating. So there's going to be a lot of talk of international anything, negotiations, long distance travel, foreign anything. And what else does Jupiter rule connected with the ninth house? But education, the law. So these are also going to be Aries, yes, Aries, areas with Aries of interest now. Education, the law, travel, and new innovative ways of travel, but we will very much expressing ourselves and our ideas and our ideals with this Aries new moon and this Aries emphasis, especially with Mercury the communicator, Chiron the healer, and Jupiter, the planet of luck, prosperity, you name it, ninth house emphasis now. Look for the new beginnings of leaders, you name it. But we also have what? To also emphasize all of this, especially connected with technology and all forms of communication and travel. We have Pluto, the power planet, at the 29th critical degree of Capricorn. And although Pluto will be moving along here to the sign of Aquarius, it is very important because although it stay in Aquarius during this time in 2023 is brief and then it's going to flip back into the sign of Capricorn, it is going to be extremely transformative, especially since we are talking about the power planet of Pluto, which is connected with Scorpio, the eighth house, and transformation. So just before and just after Pluto goes from 29 degrees critical Capricorn to 0 degrees of Aquarius, 0 critical of Aquarius, there's going to be, as emphasizing with the Aries connection, a change of leadership, and there could even be with practical Capricorn in transformative Capricorn at 29 degrees with Pluto, a change with the powers that be and how rules and regulations are carried out, and a transformation with rules and regulations, structure within society, some kind of breakdown. And especially once Pluto enters the very collective, unexpected sign of Aquarius. Because yes, indeed, Aquarius is connected with our friendliness. What else? Our humanity. It is how we relate to each other. It's about power to the people and the structure connected with the people and our point of views, our principles, our opinions, ethics, and so on with this Aquarius connection with Pluto then at 0 degrees critical of Aquarius. And what else is Aquarius besides our humanity and the collective? And us really putting out there our need for change. It is about, well, technology. And that is what Aquarius and Mars in Gemini have in common. And although Mars will be moving into the sign of security oriented Cancer, nonetheless, Mars is finishing up in the sign of Gemini. So this is a great time for to emphasize Aries, innovations, inventions, that which is connected with AI, technology, and of course, genius. And all of this will be highlighted during this Aries new moon. So transformation and change is key. Now we still have Saturn at 1 degree of Pisces, yet very early. However, its depositor is now Neptune in Pisces. And what is Saturn? Saturn is connected with what? Restriction. And Pisces is connected with water, liquids, the 12th house. And Saturn is about karma and our responsibility to the next generations and so on. So with Saturn in Pisces, it's about responsibilities connected with what? Water, liquid, minerals. And because we're talking the 12th house, there could be some information coming out now that may be of concern or that may be of some healing, Pisces, regarding health, wellness, and medicine. But it is one of very serious nature that will either help us or a concern that can hinder us. It is up to us to decide. Nonetheless, the information will come out during this new moon in Aries. And also the new moon, because it is of beginnings and fresh starts, it indicates there has been information or secrets, behind the scenes knowledge that will now be exposed. But while there will be information that will be exposed now under this new moon until the next full moon, we will have much to figure out because we're talking nebulous Neptune here. And so we will have to focus with that which is connected with our water, our oceans, and we will have to take much in the way of responsibility. Our atmosphere, all forms of liquid, minerals, and yes, there is much to figure out. What is still, as yet, being hidden from us that we have to what? Investigate. So while much information will come out and will free us to some degree, and this is such a liberating new moon, there is still going to be that which is of serious nature that we will have to figure out while we are tending to anything and everything connected with water. And that can be an overabundance of water, the atmosphere, the environment, or, because we're talking Saturn, a possible restriction of that connected with water. But I'm apt to believe with this fresh new moon in Aries that we will find a solution. And because there is a sweet trine with the sensitive South Node in Scorpio, which, by the way, like Saturn in Pisces, likes to figure out those mysteries, and Scorpio likes to reveal and investigate those mysteries, as with Pisces. And now we've got Pluto at 29 degrees of Capricorn, and that is going to make a sweet sextile with Neptune. So we will find practical solutions with regards to anything that deals with these 12th house concerns or ideas, mysteries, water, liquid, healthcare, and anything that is behind the scenes. And there's going to be an awful lot now brought up about what else? The past, because the 12th house means that we will have to go back to the past in order to begin with a fresh future. So 12th house influence very highlighted, as especially with this first house emphasis with creative and focused, me first, independent, self-sufficient Aries. Now we also have Venus in Taurus, in its own sign of Taurus, and that's very grounding. And especially with the sensitive North Node in Taurus. And what is Venus? Venus is about love. And with Venus in Taurus, this is very solidifying, especially since the North Node and Venus, the planet of love, is connected with the planet of responsibility and karma, Saturn in Pisces. So that's extremely grounding for the connections with Neptune. It could be about cleanup of our Earth, because Venus is in the planet connected with our Earth. So this is also going to be of importance and highlighted now. Our environment, atmosphere, earthly concerns, and wonderful, innovative ways of connecting with our environment. And especially once Venus, the planet of love, with Taurus, moves to conjoin what? Uranus, the planet of the unexpected and the innovative, and that of invention. So there could be some kind of invention that comes about now, especially with this Aries new moon emphasis, especially while Pluto is going to headlong at 0 degrees of Aquarius. Some kind of an invention or something that comes about now that helps us with connections with the environment, our Earth, and helping our Earth and our environment, our atmosphere, and so on, especially since Uranus is very creative, and with beautiful Venus in Taurus, it's also about beautifying, making that which is more attractive. So once Venus moves to conjoin Uranus, that's extremely creative in creating beauty. And with the connection with the North Node, it's also innovative ways of expressing love within relationships. So love, relationships will also be of great importance, and discussions about such during this new moon. But what else is Taurus? Taurus is connected with what? The second house, our money, our finances, and it is connected with what we value and our speech. So right now with the connection first with the new moon, there's going to be some kind of sensitivities or thoughts about changing what? Our money, our finances. This can be connected with inventions. Yes, because of that Uranus connection. But what else? It's about our investments and all forms of money. So I am under the impression, especially once Venus moves to conjoin Uranus, there may be some intense discussion now regarding not just changes with our money and yes, banking, especially that will be very innovative and genius, but this could be some serious discussion about new forms of currency, different forms of currency, unique, because that's what we are talking about with the planet Uranus in Taurus. So all forms of finance, banking, how we spend our money, save our money, use our money, and also what else does Taurus deal with? Earth, connected with what? Real estate. So there's going to be some very interesting Uranus news concerned or connected with not just the economy, but also real estate, land, and discussions connected with land, real estate, finance, our value system, and so on. So we also have Mars. Yes, that is the depositor of this sweet new moon in Aries. So communications plus travel, inventions, social everything and anything, and really opening up and connecting with each other with this Aquarius connection here. Yes, indeed. And a quincunx here between Mars in Gemini and Pluto at 29 degrees of Capricorn, and both soon will be going to 0 degrees of the respective next signs. So that could lead a little bit of stress and tension between Mars, the planet of action, and Pluto, the power planet. And they are somewhat united because Mars is connected with Scorpio, is connected with Scorpio and Aries, and Pluto is connected because it rules Scorpio. It is connected with Mars and Pluto connected with Scorpio. So Mars and Pluto kind of have an unusual connection here. Yes, indeed. Even though Mars will be going into security-minded Cancer and Pluto in Aquarius, yes, there's going to be some tension between the powers that be and how we express our personal power and taking action with all forms of communication. Yes, there's going to be a bit of a tense atmosphere about some of these new beginnings right now, especially connected with structure and communications. Yes, indeed, in all things, third house, ninth house, travel, education. But with new beginnings, there always is some kind of uncertainty or tension. But with these changeovers, it's all about a good sense of tension, because even though there's some uncertainty in the atmosphere, we are taking control, making positive changes. It's all about really connecting with each other, concerns about our water, yes, or liquids, mysteries, secrets, but it's also about starting over. It's also about expressing our love and highlighting love, taking care of our earth, our environment, expressing our creativity in a very unusual fashion. Yes, highlights about finance, money, you name it. But at the end of the day, this is a very marked, very extremely important transformative new moon. And that can only mean a positive future.